Hello, everyone. I am Shannon Ballman Theis, the payroll queen, and today I am going to discuss a pop-up that happened inside of QuickBooks Desktop that you can't close and you have to answer all the questions. I grabbed screenshots when I was going through it earlier in a different file. I haven't been able to get the pop-ups to come in another file that I can use on the recording. So we are going to be working off of screenshots that I saved inside of Word to go over this. So let me just share my screen here so you can take a look. All right, here we go. So the first pop-up says it's for qualified overtime tracking payroll item. Welcome to the qualified overtime tracking setup. Starting in 2026, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act requires you to report and track taxes accurately for qualified overtime premiums. This wizard will help you set up and stay compliant. The no tax on overtime provision lets employees deduct half of their time and a half overtime from their federal income tax, what you can expect. Overview of qualified OT tracking rules and how they apply to your payroll, guidance on setting up qualified OT tracking and reporting. So the first one just tells you that you're stuck in this wizard that you can't get out of without clicking through. So you'll click next. And then what you'll get here is do you follow Fair Labor Standards Act or FLSA overtime hour rules and pay employees for overtime only when they have worked more than 40 hours in a week? If you click yes, you are saying that overtime hours entered on each paycheck will automatically be copied to the qualified overtime tracking item. If you don't pay overtime at 40 hours and you pay at 48 hours, then I would click no. If you're in a state that doesn't follow FLSA overtime rules, like in California where they get paid at different intervals, then you will click no, but then you will manually have to enter the number of qualified overtime tracking hours on your paychecks. So first you need to figure out if you're going to click yes or no, and then you'll click next. And now this is the third and final pop-up that you've successfully set up the qualified OT tracking payroll item. So they'll populate the overtime tracking. So because I said yes, so remember back on the screen, I said yes that the overtime hours entered on each paycheck will automatically be copied to the qualified overtime tracking item. So if you say yes, this is the screen that you will see where it shows that the regular hourly rate is 20 hours, overtime is 5 hours, 1.5 times 20 is $30 an hour, and qualified overtime is going to be $10 an hour, and that the qualified overtime amount is going to be $50. And then you click finish and you're done. Okay, so I took a moment and that you guys didn't see, and I tried to recreate to get that pop up in a couple of different QuickBook files, and I couldn't get it to pop up. So when that does come, there will be just a blank. We'll add that screenshot to the recording. However, I won't be able to add any more audio once we've got this live. So it'll just be the screen, and then there'll be some other words that would be words that I would say, but they'll just be typed out. So you'll have to read them. And I apologize for that. But I guess that's what happens when you're trying to create content and publish it the same day. Mistakes happen. But please, anytime you've got any questions, please comment them below and I will address them. Sometimes it will be with another video. Sometimes it will just be with typing out the answer. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.